Hi everyone, so welcome back to Clayton's Imaginarium for another retrospective review. This time we're looking at a film that was released way back in 1992 called Unlawful Entry. Now this film is essentially a stalker psychological thriller, and it was directed by Jonathan Kaplan, and it stars Kurt Russell, Madeleine Stowe and Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta in this film is very scary as a stalker. He really embodies the role. But essentially, the film story revolves around essentially a couple who, the couple or the characters of Michael and Karen Carr, both of which are played by Kurt Russell and Madeleine Stowe. And then essentially, it's a failed robbery, and what happens is that they, like any couple would do, phone the police, and police arrive, and essentially they befriend this lonely policeman, essentially. But what happens is that he starts to develop this kind of fixation on Kurt Russell's, like the character of Michael. He gets fixated on his wife. So essentially, the film kind of over time starts to, essentially everything starts to unravel, and his obsession with his wife starts to get really quite weird, and it really kind of unravels. But yeah, this was again, it comes in at about 112 minutes. Standard length of film. But yeah, this was received very well on release, and especially for Ray Liotta. And as you can imagine, I've already mentioned about how good he is. But he was, I believe, he was nominated for certain awards. Not anything on the higher end, but I mean just like MTV Movie Awards, that kind of thing, for his performance in this film, and rightfully so. I think it's one of those performances that's of his that's maybe, I guess, looked over a bit more, because obviously he would go on, he's, when you look at his catalogue of films that he's been in, I guess it's one of those films that kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. But this is definitely one, if you like the actors that are in, that you like their body of work, this is definitely one that gets overlooked quite a lot. And I feel like it's very well put together. There are a couple of scenarios in the film, that aren't really kind of, I guess, realistic, in the sense of, not so much realistic, but like sometimes, depicting a believable situation. Like there's things at times where it's like, it's very much a film in that sense. But don't let that put you off. This is one that has, very good direction in terms of creating tension, and you can tell that the cast in this film is fully committed to the roles that they're in, and it really comes across because, the script might not be, I guess, as solid as other areas of the film, but the cast elevate the script, if that makes sense. It's kind of, because of their performances, it's very easy as an audience member to get caught up in the moment and kind of, and really kind of getting engrossed with like the I guess the what's going on screen, and like, and how the story is unfolding as well. But again, this it was a film that did very well at the time. I mean, made for a budget of $23 million, ended up earning about 57 million, at least in the US. But did very well, and I can see why. It's like I say, it's the direction and the cast really elevate this film and make it what it is, and that's not to sort of, I guess, kind of demean the other departments that would have worked on this film, but they're just some of the elements that really kind of shine in this. And as I say, it's a film that gets, you know, overlooked slightly compared to other films, you know, and that's, and I totally get that. I think, you know, when you look at the body of work of all the actors that are in this film, it's very easy to see why that would happen. You know, when you look at just, you know, between the three members of the main cast, it's like the amount of projects they've done and iconic films. It's very, you know, it's very easy. But this is definitely one that sometimes people sleep on. And it's a good film. Now, look, what would I rate this film? I would say this is definitely, you know, a 3 out of 5-star film for sure. Maybe an argument could be made for like 3.5, but you know what? I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5. This was, you know, this really did keep me interested. You know, it was a film where I didn't get bored at any point. It was very much, I was very much in it because of the way that the cast were committed to their parts, as I've mentioned. And I think that's, you know, that's really what kept me sort of engrossed in the story and how it was going to unfold and what was going to happen. And yeah, and also, you know, a film that has a very good opening. You know, it kind of doesn't. There's always this feeling that when going back to what I mean by the tense direction, there's always this feeling as an audience member that just you're never safe. You know, like the characters are never safe. They're always. It doesn't matter if they're in public or private. You know, in their home. It's kind of, you know, there's nowhere that feels safe for them, and that as an audience member you feel that as well. And I think that's something that really elevates this film as well. So yeah, that's you know, I won't go into any further details. Again, these retrospective reviews are very much kind of, you know, as I mentioned in previous videos, recommending to, you know, these older films that maybe people have kind of forgotten about, or maybe have never seen before, maybe have not heard of them, you know, because there's so many films that come out over the years, and sometimes, you know, especially for more modern, you know, younger audience, they might not know too much about some of these films that were out in the 80s and 90s and even beyond that. So, you know, this is a way to bring these films to light that I think deserve to be brought to light, and I think this is definitely one of them. So yeah, if you like this video and you like this review and just this short overview of the film and my thoughts on it, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Very much helps get more people kind of exposed to these reviews and the channel, and it grows the channel, right? And that's the whole goal as well. But yeah, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. There's going to be many more reviews to come. Possibly some gameplay stuff as well I'll be adding to the channel soon at some point. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications if you don't want to miss anything. And yeah, thank you very much again for watching this video. It's very much appreciated on my part. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.